welcome back to For Real Guide, and if you're new here, welcome. I have a really great video in store for you guys today, and it's all about overcoming shyness and being more confident in social settings. Now I know coming out of quarantine, coming out of COVID, it's a little bit intimidating to get back into the swing of things with being social, going to parties, and things like this. So stay tuned in this video if you're someone who's a little bit more shy, a little bit more timid, and you want to branch out a little bit more, because I'm going to be going over the 9 ways that you can overcome your shyness at a party forever. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so the first tip that I have in order to overcome your shyness at a party is to think of 3 topics ahead of time. Just like how you'd prep for an interview so that you sound a little bit more fluid in the way you say things and the topics that come up, there's nothing wrong with preparing ahead of time for a party or a social interaction. That's why I think having 3 topics ahead of time planned out that you can kind of throw out there with anyone at the party is a great idea to put your mind at ease a little bit. Whether it's, hey, so do you go to school here? Or, hey, how do you know so-and-so? Maybe it's the host of the party. Even like a random question like, hey, what's your favorite thing to eat late at night? Or something like that could be super fun to throw out there. The second tip I have for removing your shyness at a party is to compliment and transition. Human beings love compliments, they love validation, they love talking about themselves. It's kind of just part of our human experience. So a great way to start up a conversation or insert yourself into a conversation with people is to compliment them. Especially if you're at a party or a social gathering, it'll probably come naturally because people might be a little more dressed up. So maybe start by saying, hey, I love your necklace, or hey, your nail polish is super sick. They might transition it organically by saying, oh, thanks, I got it from XYZ store, or oh my gosh, thank you so much, it's actually my grandma's from the 1940s or something. And boom, now you're in a conversation about fashion and jewelry throughout the decades and how it's changed. Who knows where the conversation will go after that. The third way to reduce your shyness at a party forever is to ask open-ended questions. Open-ended questions allow for the person you're speaking to expand upon what they're saying. If you simply ask, hey, do you go to this school? And they say no, if you don't have a follow-up question ready, it might be a dead end. So while it's good to have some yes and no questions prepared, you also want to make sure you're not just allowing them to simply answer with a yes or no. Either have a secondary question ready or ask questions like what if, or how come, and see where those questions actually take you. The fourth way to get rid of your shyness at a party is to remember that no one really cares. It is so easy to get in our heads in social settings, especially when you're a little bit more shy or introverted, or if you don't know the people at the party. Maybe your friend left you to go talk to someone and you're kind of stuck there thinking, oh my gosh, what are these people thinking? I look so awkward in this corner. I promise you, no one really cares all that much. People are so much more concerned about what they look like and what they're doing. They really aren't thinking about how awkward you look. And to be honest, you probably don't even seem that awkward to begin with. Try to get that out of your head and try to focus on the positive and strike up a conversation with somebody. The fifth way to reduce your shyness at a party is to focus on others. So kind of going off our last point, that people really don't care too much about what you're doing, a great way to ensure that you're not going to be so in your head about how you look or how you're presenting yourself is to focus the conversation on other people. If you're actively listening, 1, people are going to want to talk to you more because people love to talk about themselves. And 2, you're going to genuinely be preoccupied with focusing on what they're saying. So it's going to reduce that overthinking in your head, and it's going to just have the conversation go a lot smoother, and it's going to help you be less anxious. So the 6th way to reduce your shyness at a party is to enter the room with a smile. I am a firm believer in the power of body language and how it not only helps other people perceive you a certain way, but it helps you perceive yourself in a certain way. If I ever feel insecure or underconfident, I realize that I might be having my shoulders come up to my ears, I might be furrowing my brow a little bit. But of course, when I roll my shoulders back, I throw in a smile, I immediately feel more confident and more happy. So I promise, if you want to feel less shy at a party, roll your shoulders back and smile. You're going to feel more confident, and people are going to want to approach you more because you look more confident. So the 7th tip to reducing your shyness at a party is to remember that practice makes perfect. So keep practicing. We've heard this in sports, we've heard this in test taking, in music, everything. Practice makes perfect. People often say perfect practice makes perfect, and I'm a firm believer of that as well. So if you want to appear more confident, if you want to stop feeling so insecure and you want to enjoy yourself at parties and other social gatherings, you need to practice being social. You know, honestly, a great tip that I have is to go to a grocery store or to go to a coffee shop. Start striking up conversations with people there. Maybe the person at the cash register, maybe someone in line ahead of you. Hey, I love those shoes. Do the compliment thing in these places where it doesn't really matter all that much. And then by the time you get to the party or the social gathering, you're going to feel so much more prepared. The 8th way to reduce your shyness at a party is to make small contributions during conversations. So while you want to be an active listener when you're having a conversation with people, you also want to make sure that you're contributing in a human way. Otherwise, if you sit there and mute, it comes off a little cold and kind of weird. So if someone says a joke, then make sure you're laughing an appropriate amount. If someone says something crazy, make sure you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, or you respond with an appropriate comment. And if someone has a story that is similar to a story of your own, you know, definitely butt in there after they're done with their sentence and tell them the story. Don't be scared of speaking your truth and letting your voice be heard, because it's how you're going to bounce ideas off each other and the conversation is going to keep flowing naturally. So the 9th and final way to be less shy at a party is to bring a friend. All of the tips so far that I have said are all about you and how you're behaving and how you can be less shy. But there's nothing wrong with asking for help or having a little support system nearby if you're feeling a little insecure. I always think that bringing a friend is a great way to kind of buffer the situation. I bring friends all the time to social gatherings that I'm a little nervous to go to, and I would consider myself a pretty extroverted and confident person. So definitely bring that friend, because if it gets a little weird or you don't want to stand awkwardly in a corner, you can always go up to your friend and have a little chat with them, or even talk about, oh my gosh, I just said the stupidest thing to so-and-so, and have a little laugh with someone to boost up your confidence again. Well, there you guys have it. Those are 9 ways to reduce your shyness at a party forever. And I want you guys to have the best last month of summer and the best life in general that you can have. And having a good and fulfilling life, in my opinion, is going to parties, going to social gatherings, and you probably feel the same way. If you're watching this video, maybe you feel like you want to be a little less shy and you want to truly enjoy socializing. So I hope these tips really helped you. And definitely leave in the comments which ones really did help you, or if you have follow-up questions to any of the stuff that I said. And if you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe so that I can keep making more and more self-help, self-care, improvement videos every single week. Well, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.